Augmented reality is the future, and we get to play with it today. Juan here for Pocketnow, and let's see how Apple's AR kit can enhance your reality, brought to you by dbrand. I'm sure most of you are aware, but for those of you who might be catching up on this new tech, we have two versions of reality enhancing that are currently competing. There's obviously been a lot of buzz about virtual reality, which blocks out the world around you, fully immersing you in gaming and video content. By contrast to VR, which blocks the world around you, AR, augmented reality, tries to interact with the world around you, often acting as an overlay for data and services. And we've been playing with augmented reality for a while now, from the original Google Goggle app to real-time foreign language translation, and for a number of games like Ingress or Pokemon Go, which aim to enhance those interactions around you. Recently, we've been watching companies take their game up a notch, including specialty hardware to improve that world tracking capability. Google, Apple, and Microsoft all working on competing platforms, vying to be the champions, the future of AR. While there are pros and cons to each company's approach, we think Apple might have just taken a significant lead in ushering in a consumer AR revolution. The new dual-camera iPhones, the iPhone 8 and the upcoming iPhone 10, already include sophisticated world tracking technologies, depth information cameras, and the ability to scan your environment. In the past, we have had a number of criticisms for Apple and how they might adopt new technologies. It's pretty common that they're usually late to the game whenever something new arrives, especially for how they might polish it up to incorporate it into one of their mainstream products. From a pure technology standpoint, that's a situation we find ourselves in with augmented reality. Google has already been working with partners for their Project Tango system, but where we have to give Apple some credit is incorporating AR into a mainstream product. See, Google's Tango has only made it to 2 phones so far, the comically enormous Lenovo Fab 2 Pro and a phone in the Asus Zenfone line, neither of which really feel like mainstream companies ushering in this new technology. And even for those companies, these are often not the mainstream products from those companies. Apple didn't pawn off AR into an iPhone AR or an iPhone 8 Special Edition or some other tangent to the iPhone line. It's baked directly into the mainstream iPhone 8 Plus. If you were a developer working on some kind of augmented reality application, which platform would you be more willing to support? More than just the functionality side of the equation, Apple's solution here is stunningly elegant. And at the same time, addressing those form considerations, the function is better. I took both of these devices out to a park just to kind of play around. My office is a little cramped, so some of these AR applications need just a bit more space. I didn't realize it when I was driving out there, but a park is actually a difficult place, a difficult arena to test out augmented reality. I just have this big sea of green grass. There aren't a lot of landmarks for either of these devices to latch onto. While I saw some skipping and shifting on both phones, the iPhone was significantly more consistent at locating objects in space and locking them down to that particular location of this wide open green park. As I mentioned at the top of this video, augmented reality is the future. Virtual reality has incredible potential for multimedia consumption, for education, and for those singular experiences where you need to leave this space around you. But augmented reality has the potential to impact nearly every other app or service that we might interact with on our phones. Playing a silly running game where I'm given check marks that I have to hit and then turn and then run to the next checkpoint really gives you a sense of what we could do with walking or driving directions once AR can overlay a map on the road in front of us. Sure, I can shop in an IKEA catalog by placing desks and chairs in my actual living room to see what they're going to look like, or use an app to measure my living room so I can fit it with the perfect couch for that space. But as Microsoft has shown us, maybe the future of television isn't in owning a TV. Maybe when I want to watch Netflix, I can just dock it to a wall and have it live there. I don't actually have to run cables or have a panel that is powered when I have devices that can control or augment my reality. Personally, I've seen a number of headlines, Apple's AR not ready for prime time, and I think that's a little unfair. We do have something of a chicken and an egg problem. We've got the hardware, and now we're waiting for developers to catch up and deliver compelling services for consumers to latch onto. But this is not a technology unto itself, nor is it a technology specifically for one line of phones. We're entering the post-smartphone world, where these have become more commodities and less status symbols. The next transition will be peeling certain services off of this glowing rectangle metaphor. A major component of that is Apple's support for developers. As they get this amazing test bed of people utilizing their phones, and maybe only in one-off situations, all of that data is going to roll into the next generation of products which can utilize those services. Once we peel this off of the phone and put it into a pair of smart glasses or a heads-up display in a car, that's when we'll see the true potential of AR realized. But that shouldn't mean that we don't get to play with it today. And while you're out there augmenting your reality, running around with a phone to do that running game app was actually pretty scary, holding a slippery, wet bar of soap all-glass phone. Worse than that, while I was crouching for one of the shots on the Lenovo, this phone slid right out of my pocket and I managed to ding up the top edge of my beautiful iPhone 8 Plus. What totally would have helped is some kind of extra grip or traction on the phone, and that's where dbrand comes into play, as they've got a huge collection of skins in a wide variety of colors and textures to help you customize your premium gadget investments. Head on over to dbrand.com or hit the link in the description below to start customizing your gadgets. So I want to leave this video off with a quick question. What is the one service or industry that you would most want to see rocked by augmented reality? Drop me a comment down below. I'll be curious to see what kind of apps you guys are thinking of for the future of real-world data interactions. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for our full iPhone 8 coverage. We're gonna have some more stuff on AR soon, especially as I wanna see other companies' responses to what Apple is doing, see if we can get some more developers in the space, and see if we can get some more traction on cool new services. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next video.